An emotional moment before tonight's high school football game in Mentor. The school holding a moment of silence in honor of 14-year-old Lucas McGee. McGee, a wrestler, had a medical emergency during conditioning practice on September 29th and sadly died on Thursday.
Lucas will be remembered for his warm personality, kind spirit, quiet strength, and unwavering sense of humor that made him a wonderful friend and classmate. Please join us in a moment of silence to remember Lucas McGee.
Mentor schools say the district will be offering grief resources next week.